Hi, we're at the Premier Diploma, and today we're going to talk about the 4-4-2 system of play. The system is really shown at kickoff. It's organization of the players and where you've decided to, as a coach, to arrange the players to cover the thirds of the field. So we'll talk in the back first. We have our goalkeeper and 4 back players, 2 center backs and 2 wide backs. In midfield, we've decided that we'll go with 2 central midfielders that will play side by side and 2 wide midfielders, one on the right and one on the left. We decided to split our strikers, playing one in front of the other and have a little depth between the 2. You could play them 2 side by side as twin strikers. The advantages of the 4-4-2 are that it's arguably the most popular system in the world today. So many teams are playing it. It's easy to start from, as you can see that we have pairs of players all around. So roles are easily defined. Team building is very easy out of this system as you're talking in pairs. And about these pairs, you're trying to find pairs that will complement each other. So the roles are easily defined, meaning that the role of the left back also could be very similar to the role of the right back. So it's a mirror image of each other. If you looked down the field and broke it into half, you could see that on the right side we could do the same exact thing as on the left side. So they would be mirror images of each other, or could be mirror images. The flexibility of the system allows you to bump players. So our left midfielders could bump on and our right midfielder could bump on, as well as our left back and right back, meaning that we could then start to press teams and show at times 2 at the back, 2 marking 2 with 4-4. So our players have actually bumped on. We also outnumber 3-5-2 on the flank, having two wide players in the areas on both sides of the field. So pressing is very good out of this system. Perhaps one of the disadvantages is just that we now only have the 2 strikers, so getting numbers into the box will be difficult. We'll have to figure out if one player runs wide, how is now we only have 1 player to get in. We'll need a midfield player centrally and perhaps the wide midfielder on the opposite side to get in. One of the things that you're seeing now in this system is wide midfielders are moving centrally a little more. We're playing the right-footed player on the left side and the left-sided player on the right side. And that's going to take some time for players to be comfortable, because our younger players aren't usually playing on the opposite side of the field as their favorite foot. The other disadvantage is centrally we become a number down when we play against 3 central midfield players. So how we will deal with that problem will be something that we'll have to explore in training. The 2 center backs sometimes get caught high, leaving the 2 wide backs behind them, and now all of this space is on sides. Very dangerous. So we call this the inverted U. Very difficult to protect when the 2 center backs are going forward. Another dilemma that we have is that they're all in straight lines, vertically and horizontally. So then the space to attack a back 4 in this system would be the space in front of the backs behind the central midfield players, right in here. That's why we'll have to teach our central midfield players to double back and double team a ball right there. So those are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the 4-4-2. Again, systems do not win games, players do, so keep that in mind, and your flexibility to change systems must be also a consideration.
Okay, we're here at the Premier Diploma in Fort Lauderdale, looking at systems of play. And the system we're going to look at right now is the 1-4-3-3. And just a general cursory look at the strengths and weaknesses of the 4-3-3. Different ways you can shape your midfield in a 4-3-3. We'll just go with one defensive midfield player and two attacking midfield players. Axes going this way. Set up with three forward players, winger, centre forward, another winger, and then your back four. Okay, so we look at some of the strengths right off of the 4-3-3. We see immediately that there are three central midfield players in here. So no matter what system you're playing against, gives you strength of numbers in the middle of midfield. Playing against a 4-4-2, you'll have an extra player in the middle of midfield with these three here. Even playing against a 3-5-2 with three central players, you won't be outnumbered. So one of the strengths of this system particularly is the numbers we have in the middle of midfield right here. Also playing with three forward players gives us a chance to press a little bit, and also for me, playing with three forwards up front psychologically puts us in kind of an attack mode if we're going to go and win the ball back. Natural pairs on the flanks, just like you have a 4-4-2, in a 4-3-3 you have natural pairs on the flanks here, fullbacks and wingers, getting you three central midfield players, and you pair at the back. Okay. The thing I like about the 4-3-3 is you can play any type of style you want. It gives you the option, if you're a possession-oriented team, to keep the ball through midfield with these players right here, but also an option with three front targets to go vertical quickly and then play up and behind them. So you have a choice to play possession-oriented soccer through the midfield right here with your numbers, or to go into three distinct target players up top. What I like about the 4-3-3, there's also natural support wherever the ball is. If the ball goes from a central defender into midfield right here, we have a nice triangle in here. If the ball goes into the flank player, we have support attacking midfield player, fullback. If the ball goes from the fullback into the centre forward, we have support here from the winger and support from the attacking midfield player. So wherever the ball on the field is, we have natural support angles in a 4-3-3. Some of the weaknesses of the 4-3-3, and this is where you have to decide as a coach. You could potentially be defending with only 7. If you decide to leave 3 up top, then you've only got 3 in midfield and 4 defenders. So one of the big problems you have to deal with in a 4-3-3 is how you're going to defend these spaces right here. Okay, if you decide to leave your 3 forwards up top, it's pretty hard to do high pressing because you don't want your fullbacks disconnected from your back 4. So high pressing up here, dealing with this space, your fullback's going to have to come a good 20 yards, gets disconnected. It's a big disadvantage. So how we deal with that, we try and stay nice and compact as a unit. It's a good midfield pressing system. Possibly if the ball's over here, we may have to have one of our attacking midfielders come across and keep the ball on this side of the field. So that's how we deal with the space in a 4-3-3. That's one of the significant weaknesses. Another weakness is, if you're not careful, is playing with 3 up front. The 3 forward players can be very static. So if you're not careful, you're playing with one more forward with his back to goal. So a vertical pass going to the feet of the centre forward, you've got now 3 players potentially facing away from the goal. So that could be a significant weakness. And also tendencies sometimes, if you give players positions, they can become very static. So you've got winger, centre forward. Well, obviously, you know, if you have a winger over here, we've only got 1 player in the box, which is a weakness. So it's critical that we have an attacking midfield player now to make the box and join in. So strengths and weaknesses of a 4-3-3. One of the favourite systems in the world at the moment, we talk about breaking up the lines, getting away from the 4-4-2, 2 banks of 8. We've got one line, another line, potentially another line and another line. So breaking up the lines, it's a very popular system right now, and one that we are excited to teach here at the Premier Diploma.